Alright, hey guys, I think this is going to be the final episode this time for sure. 61 episodes. And we barely made it in. Hopefully I pray that my computer holds up. I recorded it up to now. It should have enough memory, but who knows? Anything could go sour. This could not be the final. I don't know. But the judge wants confirmation, and we're about to give it to him. You will explain to the court precisely what you saw at the moment the defendant allegedly shot the victim. And I'm going to press the button right now. Here we go, guys. Nothing would give me greater pleasure. Alright. Witness testimony. The moment of the shooting. I think this is it. Guys, hold on to your seatbelts because this is going to get bumpy. While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance to the shop. When Windybank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shot himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door through. The accused in a black coat shot the man in the black as he was trying to flee to safety. In the back, not in the black. I saw the blood splatter all over the wretched girl. Then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and made my escape. That's what I wanted it to hear. Good gracious, this is quite extraordinary testimony. You claim, sir, under oath, to have clearly seen the defendant pull the trigger. Order, order, order! It wasn't my intention to testify in this way. But neither is it my intention to be found guilty of a murder I didn't commit. So you see, my hand has been forced, I tell the truth now, as an act of self-preservation. Boy, I haven't heard that theme in ages. Oh, look at that. Acting all smug. The truth? I doubt it. Until now, the prosecution was completely unaware of these details. Yes, sorry about that. Having shot me in the arm, the pawnbroker was then shot in the back by the accused. And as I said, she was showered in his blood. You say the blood spattered all over the accused's coat. Are you sure on that point? Oh yes, quite sure. All over the black overcoat that pickpocket girl was wearing at the time. Really? If her coat could somehow be shown to harbor vestiges of blood, that would be conclusive evidence here. Zieks. Such an investigation is entirely possible, my lord. What? Only very recently, a German scientist has developed a technique to identify human blood. Wait a minute, hang on a second, we did the exact same thing! So here's to true science, not some amateurish detective's dubious foray into the world of chemistry.
There's nothing dubious about Hurley's work. His ideas are all sound.
Ideas are no use to us here. In science, as in law, theories must be proven before they stand. Alright, he's got you there, Iris. In Germany, the technique has already been employed in the courtroom as the basis of evidence. Scotland Yard has a small quantity of the chemical reagent used. With your lordship's permission... Don't throw that at... Stop wasting glass. We could shatter all vestiges of doubt within minutes.
good for now.
Why not? I mean, well...
Well, we know, don't we, that there's blood all over the front of Ginny's coat.
Yeah, but it's not hurt. Yeah, that's a problem. Yep.
If they test it with their chemicals.
Oh, help. You're right. I was forgetting what happened yesterday. Buddy, how did you forget? Even I didn't forget. It wasn't just yesterday. It was like a month ago for me.
Don't move, Ginny. I'm going to shoot.
Bop. Oh! It's covered in purple, right? Purple. But that's not Mr. Windybank's blood. That stain is from 2 months ago. That's Mr. Mason's blood from where he was stabbed by McGilded, who was wearing the coat at the time. My lord, the defense objects to the test proposed by the prosecution. Overruled. Yep, I figured. Lord Van Zieks, make it so at once. With pleasure, my lord. And while we await the results, the defense may proceed with this cross-examination. Once they find that blood on the overcoat, Gina will be... Counsel! Yes, my lord? Your cross-examination. Of course, my lord. If this cross-examination doesn't go well, if I don't manage to uncover some decisive evidence or a really compelling clue now, I have a very bad feeling about the outcome of this trial. Shit, now I don't even know if I want to press everything. The game won't do that, right? 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 I'm scared. Fuck. Okay, I guess we just... Hold it! But I have 4 penalties. Mr. Windybank emerged from the storeroom, I believe. Ringo and Ash were scouring the counter when he suddenly appeared and flew at them. He already had the revolver in his hand. Fortunately, I wasn't too close. I have never seen so scared in my life. Yeah, we're just regular mannered burglars, that's all. We don't like violence. Says the pair who carry a gun. Yeah. What do you mean when you say we're near the entrance to the shop? I was in the doorway, running my eyes over the shelves or forfeited items. Looking for the music box, of course. The broker went for Nash in the first place. Then Ringo joined, and making it 2 against 1, so I assumed they could handle the situation. But I was wrong. I was trying to help me little bruv, but the old geezer chucked me over the bloomin' counter. So I pulled me gun on the fella, and that's what made him scarper. The pair of you setting upon the poor defenseless pawnbroker together, shame on you. Yeah. Sorry, Gov. Yeah, you should be. When Windybank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. Hold it! Held it. You mean that's the moment you were shot? Yes, though I didn't immediately realize that what had happened, of course. Things crashed to the floor from the counter of the 3 men were brawling. It was at exactly the moment that it happened, so I didn't hear the gunshot. And the bullet went on to strike the counter and the wall behind you. So it would appear. When I looked down at my arm, I saw it was bleeding badly, so I wrapped my handkerchief around it. Seeing as I couldn't explain what had happened to a doctor, I had no choice but to wait for it to heal. I didn't imagine it would still be bleeding 2 days later. Did Mr. Windybank intend to shoot you? Do you think? Well, now, I don't imagine he even noticed I was there, to be honest. Perhaps the gun went off accidentally. Anyway, it didn't quite strike home. When I pulled me gun on him, I tried to shove me out of the way. And then he scarpered through the door out back. At which point, what did you do? I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I couldn't see him through the people in the door, though. Hold it! This is getting risky, though. You mean you chased after him? I don't recall the reason why, but I ran after him to the back of the shop. And what about this peephole in the door you mentioned? Well, unsurprisingly, the storeroom's door is a solid job made out of stout wood. But there's a small opening in it about the head height that lets you see what in there from the outside. Actually, I should know that. I should know that, shouldn't I? I looked through it myself that night. Yeah, I did so too. Bum, 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 bum. And what about you burgling brothers? Did you see what went on through this peephole as well? No, not likely, Gov. Didn't see nothing of the sort, Gov. I doubt these two buffoons were even aware of the peephole's existence. So the Skulkin brothers were there, but they didn't see the killing of Mr. Windybank take place. Inside the storeroom, I could see the broker and that young girl standing there. The defendant? Yes, though neither of them noticed that I was looking. The girl raised her gun and pointed it straight at the man. And then, what did you see next? The accused in the body, as he was trying to flee. Hold it! Yes, when the crime was discovered, the defendant was found with a gun in her hand. But that was Mr. Windybank's gun, from which only a single bullet had been fired. And as we've already established, Mr. Graydon, that bullet was fired at you. But no, it wasn't the broker's gun that the pickpocket girl had when I saw her. Yes, the bullet from the Windybank's gun grazed my arm. And yes, the Skulkin guns grounded the detective. But this was another gun entirely, a third gun. The broker's gun was not the murder weapon, so clearly there had to have been a third firearm involved. In other words, the accused must have had her own gun with her at the time. Objection! But no other gun was found at the scene. Ha 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 ha! Calm yourself, counsel. Sorry? You must consider the events in order. What do you mean? At first I saw the broker and the girl glaring at each other, but then all of a sudden, the broker turned to run. And it was at the moment that the little gutter rat shot him in the back. A chilling image, I must say. Okay. I saw the blood splatter all over the wretched girl. Hold it! I'm scared that I'm gonna get a game over. All over her? Yes. Through the peephole, I saw it clearly. Of course, the stains are invisible now, what with the coat being such a dark color. But I assure you, the garment is sullied with the victim's blood. Well, it is sullied with blood, that's for sure.
But it's not Mr. Windybank's blood, is it?
No, that's right. It's Mr. Mason Milverton's blood from when McGilded stabbed him 2 months ago. Yeah, don't look at me like that, Iris. Sorry. Don't be pouty.
It's so annoying. If they'd only accept Hurley's chemical analysis, we could prove that.
But they won't, so unfortunately, we can't use it as evidence to support our case. Shit! That would be so much more useful.
Bother!
And then she tossed the gun out of the peephole, so I picked it up and it made my escape. Can I see that gun? Did I hear you correctly? She threw the gun out of the room? That's right. After the broker fell to the floor, she started walking over. Over where exactly? In the direction of the storeroom door, to where I was watching. Of course, I quickly retreated, and then the girl dropped the gun through the peephole onto the floor on my side of the door. But why on earth would she do such a thing? I couldn't tell you. Perhaps she was hoping to distance herself from the murder weapon. Without thinking, I went and picked it up. I suppose I was worried about just leaving it there in case any more tragedies took place. So, it was you, in fact, who took the third gun from the scene of the crime. Yes, it was yours truly. I left to clear up my lackeys and left. Clear up? We made a bit of a mess around the counter, so Mr. Whistlefoot here told us to tidy up. He thinks of blooming mums sometimes. Well, I was paying you enough by God. Ugh. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket? You're like a bull at a gate, aren't you? Are you?
Excuse me.
What's happening over here? Gentlemen, calm down. What's happening? Gregson, you good? Something wrong, sunshine? That should be my line. Yeah, exactly. What's going on over there? Gentlemen. You do realize you were just violently shaking Mr. Skulkin, right? Blimey, he's a bit of a hooligan, ain't he? What was going on just now? You saw him. He grabbed me and whistled. Why the blazes, he said. Didn't you mention the third gun when we got down to the station? And why didn't you? Cause we didn't know nothing about it, or the flaming peephole in the door. Sorry about that. I can be prone to losing my rag sometimes. Not hurt, are you? Gore blimey, you see the way he's looking at me? I'm telling you, this gives me the willies. Okay. That was strange. The inspector doesn't normally get quite as worked up as that. He wouldn't normally grab someone.
No, that wasn't like Rexy at all. He's normally all sweetness and light no matter what I say to him.
Well, you, because you're... Never mind. Yes, well, I think you might be a special case. Iris, thank you. Thank you. You are a special case. A super special case.
Well, anyway, that was definitely out of character.
Oh, shit. No, I need more time. My lord. Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Explain yourself, officer. I have a result of the test that was ordered earlier, my lord. Ah, the blood on the accused overcoat. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. Oh, okay. Well, suspended. Thank you. I presume you have no objection, counsel? No, my lord. Well, I can't have any objection. Well, there you have it. And the report, please, Inspector. Yes, sir. Traces of human blood were found on the overcoat of the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade. Okay, that's useless. From the extent of the stains, it would appear that they were the result of spattering following a gunshot wound. Wow, really? Told you that much? End of report. Goodness me. Don't twirl like a ballerina. See, what did I tell you?
Objection!
I object. No, the blood on the coat is not Mr. Windybanks. What on earth makes you say that, counsel? The coat originally belonged to Magnus McGilded. Just before his coat was deposited at Windybanks, McGilded had fatally stabbed Mr. Mason Milverton. So the blood on the overcoat is the blood of the brickmaker from the omnibus case.
Objection!
Don't object me, you know I'm right. Well, the dead cannot speak. Isn't that right, my Nipponese friend? Sorry? Don't pour yourself. 2 months ago, in this very courtroom, did you not argue fervently for McGilded's innocence? And yet now that the man is dead, you brand him as a murderer. Don't break your glass. Why was... You are wasting glass, my sir. Your conduct shatters any shred of respect you may have earned for yourself in this country. Ah, but that was... I call it bodily disgrace. Treachery, that's what it is. How determined whether the blood on the coat is 2 months old or not? Even a stereoscope couldn't help answer to that problem. Pop out. It can't not be done. But, we used Mr. Sholmes' specially formulated...
Mr. Sholmes is a detective, not a chemist.
Would you put such faith in a chemical formula devised by me, for example, when I am a communications officer? Well, detective and communications officer is very different, but... Yes? I held out Prior's ski to starving boy, and he ran away crying. Herlock Sholmes is barely more than a figment of the public's imagination. His name carries no weight in this courtroom. No weight at all. Damn. How could you say that? Yeah, he's your buddy, bro. The victory is sweet indeed. This proves that my testimony is the whole truth from the start to finish. How do you arrive at such a conclusion, sir? As the witness said, the accused's coat was spattered with the blood of the victim. The only way Mr. Graydon could possibly have known the fact is if he saw it happen. In other words, his testimony is solid, and the conclusion is singular. It was the accused who shot the victim in this case. That is the whole truth. Ah! My lord! Oh no. Yep. Been a long battle, this one, but this old warhorse has something to say now, if you please. Mr. Foreman. As of this moment, sir, the squadron has reached its final decision. Ready, men? 0 for 1 now. Sir.
Guilty.
Guilty. Guilty.
Are we gonna have to do one last final examination, summonation examination? Oh, just when we're getting toward the end. Damn it, I'm 24 minutes in. How long is it? I forgot how long this game is. Then probably, most likely, this is not the end then. Well, it would appear the ladies and gentlemen of the jury have reached a unanimous verdict. The defense has consistently failed to unpick this witness's testimony. Here's to any attempt you make at unpicking the juror's decision being equally successful. I don't believe it. After I've come so far, bro, you and me both. How is it all unraveling on me so fast? Dude, that is not a good look for you. How very distressing to be held in such a low esteem. Who's that? Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Officer? You've delivered the report now. That will be all, thank you. It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind. I know that voice. So do I. That's why I made that voice weird. Am I going mad? Nope, you're not. Ah! Hey, buddy. Long time no see. Mr. Sholmes! What is the meaning of this? Look at his pose. That's awesome. I forgot. Order! 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 What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in hospital. As well I would be, had I not been set up an errand. What errand?
Hurley, it's really you! You're awake at last!
Oh yeah, Ginny's, Iris is happy. Yes, good day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies. Now, my lord, if you will humor me. In what manner, sir? I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind to spare us the time? What say you this, Lord Van Zieks? This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already. Exactly, having been spent so long already. We don't want to go wasting any more precious time. As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes. Eh? Very well then, counsel. You have 5 minutes. Okay, I guess. Erlock. Oh my god, how did you change so quickly? My dear fellow, I apologize for my tardy arrival. Mr. Sholmes, are you alright? Yeah, are you alright now? Bro, you got a shot. Are you good? You sure you're okay? You can breathe? You're good? Alright, I'm all wrong. Sorry? I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man. I asked the judge for 5 minutes. But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray forgive me, should I pass out? Bro, you should be in bed. What are you doing? Let's make this discussion as short as possible.
Hurley, this place is full of idiots. None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is.
Ah, well, the concoction of mine was just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for my appraisal by the scientific community and oversight on my part. Right, modesty, surely not. But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow. What's that? A lavender furoshiki wrapping? A leaving present from Miss Susato. From Miss Susato? If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor. I don't understand. Miss Susato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhand. And that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are, won't do what you would find yourself in considerable peril. At the very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel. Those were the dear lady's instructions. A leaving present from Susato-san? Whatever could it be? What is this?
Oh! It's the machine I made.
The time machine. What the fuck? I'm thinking of Back to the Future. Ah! Yeah, Wagahai's cat thing. Meow. Man, that's memories.
Look, I used this. It's my latest invention.
What is that?
I call it the cat flapomat. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. What's Susie up to now?
Miss Susato muttered the following words before she left. I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant. What? Didn't she say something like that? Yep, she said that when we were talking. Man, this is just a bunch of flashbacks. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure. I like how both Iris and Sholmes look like each other. Whatever does she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? And that night, when you left Windy Banks in the pursuit of the thieves, Miss Susato made us the contraption for a certain purpose. That is your answer, dear fellow. No, not all the cryptic then. No, not at all cryptic then. Susato-san used this cat flapomat that night, but why? The cat flapomat has been entered into the court record. This is what I needed. Alright, you're finally drinking that now, aren't you? Your 5 minutes is over. We're out of time already? I'm grateful to you for affording us the brief recess, Mr. Reaper. I need no thanks, Detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really? The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination. But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder... Wasn't the thing put on hold? Mr. Naruhodo? Yes? The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan? The rest is down to me, huh? You know what? I'm scared. Rest is down to me. Okay, we're back. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. My lord, the defense requests... Time to think. That one's mine. No. Further cross-examination. Because if you remember, while we were doing the cross-examination, the judge specifically said the cross-examination is put on hold for now. So, we need to get back to the cross-examination before we do the summation examination. So, let's do it. More further cross-examination. Further cross-examination.
Objection!
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now.
Objection!
Hang on a second, buddy. The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness. Rather, to continue with the one of the existing witness. What? It would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper. My lord! Oh yeah, this is freaking Sholmes requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. That's my shitty attempt of being a bailiff, which makes sense if it's Sholmes. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. Hey, bingo! We got it. I presume you have no objection, counsel. No, my lord.
So nobody can say anything then. If Bruno asks to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Drayden,
The court is obliged to allow it. This is absurd. He's so dramatic. Man, Zieks, calm yourself. You're gonna pull something. I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I concur that the defense is entirely within its rights to request a continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of those proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination. Counsel, you must choose one statement from the witness's testimony, and but one piece of evidence to present in support of your argument against it. Okay, this is it! Dude, we're coming to an end! I'm getting so jittery! I'm getting so fucking jittery! We were so close! A single chance to present evidence. If following that the situation remains unchanged, I shall move to adjunction. Is that clear, counsel? You will not press the witness any further. So we just got the rule of one. That's all I need. But I need to be careful. My lord. Yes, my lord. A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo, it's high time I fell in a dead faint. No, don't fall or collapse, dude. I leave this in your capable hands. Oh. G just fell fucking backwards. I'm sorry, he's in pain, but that was the funniest shit ever. Mr. Sholmes! Don't worry, he's fine. He's just exhausted. Get that man a paramedic. To stand so insouciantly before the court in the state of such high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind or an extraordinary lack of feeling. I go with both. I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers. Oh, that's good. That's great. Strike a man when he's down, why don't you? Well then, counsel, are you fully prepared? Not really. Give me 2 seconds. Do the double slap. Come on, you got this. Slap yourself. I know you want to. Yes. One statement. One piece of evidence. I won't let Mr. Sholmes down. Or Iris. Screw it. You're gonna see this. I'm on 7 saving. Just in case everything else messes up. But as far as I'm concerned, everything's fine. Let's do this. There you go. There's the, well, not the double slap, one slap. And I won't waste the final chance that Susato-san has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial. Very well, then. Under the terms I've outlined, you may resume the cross-examination. The moment of the shooting again. Oh, the music. So what do I present here? Fuck it. I'm gonna save it again, just in case we're saving it in the same place that I saved it last time. All right. Okay. Think. What piece of evidence do I show? While these ruffians were jostling with the pawnbroker, I was near the entrance. When the Windibank threw, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I couldn't see him through the peephole in the door though. The accused in the black coat shot the man in the back. But wait, hang on, I passed it. Through the peephole. You know what? I'm gonna search up what I have to do here. Mostly because I want to get this correctly. I don't want no failures. I know this is dumb, but I just want to do it. Let's see. Let's see. Hang on. I just want to see which one I have to do. I know what I have done this before, but like I just want to be sure. Okay, then present the cat flap on the same in 3 or 4. Okay, and then after that, okay. So I just need to present the cat flapomet in 3 or 4. Really? I like this one because it has the peephole. So let's do it. We got it. We might as well use it.
Objection!
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, Counsel?
Oh, it's my cat flapomet, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. You can cut through the door. You can any door you can think of, and make a new little door in the middle of it.
That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please, without their owners. I'm sure we can all work that out for ourselves.
Ah!
But that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case. Oh, really? Of course it doesn't. To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door. Are you sure about that? Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand. Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all.
I beg your pardon? A peephole, you say?
2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windibank had taken place.
That's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes.
Yes, the three of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time.
Your assistant did? What?
There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself, in order to see inside the locked storeroom.
This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say?
Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake? Yes, how could you?
What? Counsel, kindly say what you mean.
Alright, it's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through. That's right. I've been wanting to talk about that forever because I realized it the first time. The first time I never realized it until like, it was brought up, and then now I'm just like, this is a farce. Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was? Yes, it was created only after the incident had taken place by my judicial assistant using this device.
Your assistant tampered the crime scene while being fully aware of the gravity of her actions. That is a most serious act of vandalism.
Yeah, but it helped. For which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left in the scene in order to pursue the Skulkin brothers and alert the police. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it's become apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes.
Riddled with? Explain yourself, counsel.
The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door. Yes, that filthy girl was shooting the man in the back. However, if at the time of the incident, that peephole did not exist in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. Ah!
Order! Order! Is there any credence in this revelation?
Objection!
Do not object.
None whatsoever, as my learned friend must surely realize.
Exactly. This is just some cheap trick designed to discredit me. I'm afraid not, sir. Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden door? I have proof.
Oh yes, I decided to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors.
That's absurd. I don't believe it for a second.
Haha, I had a feeling you'd say that.
What?
Waggy, Cooey, time for dinner.
Cooey? Who's Cooey? Oh wow, you made a door. Thanks, Iris. Thank you.
Well,
Ah,
Young lady, this is the Old Bailey. One does not make cat flaps in the oak paneling at the Old Bailey.
I'm not done yet, don't worry. This does mean that the peephole in the storeroom door at the Windy Banks was made by your machine. And then there's no way you can prove that it was.
No, but it's easy.
What? Now you're fucked.
The cat flaps my cat flap-o-mat creates are all of a fixed size. And the dimension of the people at the windy banks are an exact match.
Huh. Bum, 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 bum.
Old Silky's lost for words.
Thanks, Iris. Excellent work, Iris. Thank you. And now, it's my learned student friend's turn to be lost for words, I feel. I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home. Well, yes, that's true. Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all of the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume the peephole has dimensions that are perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when was the peephole cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer. Oh, you want proof? You want proof? I'm searching up the proof. I got the proof. Ah!
What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zieks?
It's very simple, my lord. The defense argues that the peephole was created after the incident using this device. But now that the perpetrator has returned to her native land, she cannot testify to the fact that there is no proof.
Ugh. Get on with it.
And for as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the peephole was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation.
What? Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zieks. Well, counsel, I can prove it.
Don't give up now, Bruno.
Yeah, we're almost there.
This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through.
I don't know if I can do this, but I do know one thing. Susato-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world. Yeah, damn right she is.
Very well. The counsel for the defense will present evidence to support the claim made. Proof that the people is in the Windy Bank storeroom created after your event.
Is this Gina's photo? Photo of Gina. There you go. Yep.
Take that!
What are you? A print from the detective's infernal cameras again. My judicial assistant, Miss Susato Mikotaba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman. Which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered the scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof.
And the necessary proof is this photographic print, counsel.
This print shows the scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises. Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielded a gun in the direction of the defenseless broker. But more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background.
Let me see that print again. I don't believe it. This really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of the people of any description.
Ah! Mr. Graydon. You couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you have claimed to have done. Because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in the door. Getting tired of this. Ugh. In other words, your testimony is a catalog of lies. Ah! Order, order, order.
Order, order, order. I'm satisfied that the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt. The witness's testimony was entirely fallacious.
That's not the only thing we now know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with a crime scene. Okay? But more importantly...
Good lord, there's more, Lord Van Zieks.
The defense may have established a reprehensible incident of perjury. But that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer.
Why are you fighting this, bro? Yes, that's right.
What?
I was there at the scene, it's true. And I was shot in the arm, it's true. But that's all. Yes, in fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here.
What the shit, bro? Oh, please. No! I don't believe this. But they're right. As it stands now, I don't have any definitive proof that he is the culprit.
Still, he can't worm his way out of it now.
Iris?
You know what they say. There's no point locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted. Isn't that right, Bruno?
Sorry, I'm just like reading what I have to do. Alright.
As Hurley always says, one lie begets another. No, wait, that might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories.
Alright, well, no matter who said it first, you're right. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Make no sense? What do you mean by such a remark? What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there's a fundamental inconsistency in your statement.
What?
Objection!
No, don't object me, bro. This is a provocative talk, counsel. Won't you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency. Iris was right. One line begets another. The inconsistency is revealed by the lie in the witness's statements. They show that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known anything about. Namely, it says I could choose either one of these two. I don't think, we have two options. The third gun! I guess you could pick either one of them. Well, the blood stains on the coat. He couldn't have seen that. I guess, you know... I don't know. Which one should I pick? It doesn't really matter, but, you know, I just like... Screw it. The bloodstains that were present on Miss Lestrat's coat. That's right. The victim's blood splattered all over her when she shot him. But how could you possibly have known that? Exactly. Obviously, because I saw her do it through the people in the... In the where, sir? In the where? The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted, and that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. Then let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the people in the storeroom? What? Well, obviously, I... Has the cat got your tongue, witness? The people in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Windybanks constantly carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Well, yes, of course, the place is chock full of pawned articles, and my lads have to have thoroughly examined them all. So I gave the order to have officers working around the clock shift, so we get through it all.
And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the people in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable.
Objection!
Don't object me. And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place through the people in the door.
How on earth is that possible? Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zieks?
Speak, Inspector.
It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report.
No, you're not leaving anywhere.
There's really nothing more I can add to the testimony, so if it's all the same to you...
Permission denied. Oh. It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes.
Of course, sir.
Mr. Graydon. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that peephole. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by somebody else. Ugh. I know who it must have been.
Objection!
Stop there, my learned friend. You realize I trust that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications. Yes. But the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be.
Who is this person in question, counsel? Who gave this witness details to the crime scene facility?
Well, the only person that knows anything about anything.
Take that!
The truth is, It can only have been you, Inspector Gregson. Eh? Me?
Objection!
You had better have some proof of substantiate such of a rash claim, my learned friend. Oh, hang on, I'm getting to it. The music box, right? Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learned of it only during the course of the trial today.
Indeed, preparations for this testimony were made with great urgency during our long recess. While the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here from the communications station.
And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea, no inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court.
Are you suggesting that until such time as he was summoned?
Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume that he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position, and then they were talking, that he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder. You're suggesting to the court that it was while this trial was in progress that he received the information so that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin. Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson.
This is a bloomin' outrage. Why would I be giving away details of our investigation to this fellow, eh? I was summoned to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Have you forgotten? Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery.
Which means the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after proceeding resumed following the recess. Since then, they've been in full view in the stand where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred.
Ah, are you sure about that?
Oh, I just remembered something, Bruno.
What is it, Iris? Yeah, don't you remember you stopped them because they were like talking?
There was one time, wasn't there? I think it was when Ginny was testifying.
Oh yes, now you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve McGilda's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it. It was during that testimony. I remember finding it strange at the time. They were talking. Mr. Graydon and the inspector seemed to be having some kind of secret discussion. Didn't think much of it. It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then.
You little tarrag, you're making all this up. I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud. Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke?
Admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was part of a deal of some kind, then it starts to make more sense. What deal, Counsel? I wonder if perhaps in exchange for details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. Now it's coming together. Oh boy, you are in trouble.
I'm sure I need not remind Inspector that if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of maleficence.
Malfeasance? I don't know.
Well,
Objection!
It's becoming clear that jumping in with accusations is this Nippon-S student's speciality. I don't do that. But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim.
evidence?
Just what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of the witness in return? The court must see proof of this alleged deal. If Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon, then logically there's only one thing he could have asked for. That must be it.
Oh no, do you think it could be?
Yes. It's this missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle.
I must press you for the answer now, counsel.
Let me just make sure I got this right so that I don't freak out. I could present either the music box or the disc.
What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal the Gregson made with the witness?
Bingo.
Take that!
Inspector Gregson. Besides this murder, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case?
What are you getting at now, Sunshine?
Is it possible that this other top secret case is what's alluded to in this newspaper article here? The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice.
How the bleeding Nora could you...
We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Windybanks by Magnus McGilded. A special music box designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that the encoded on the pair of discs that were in McGilded's possession are the leaked classified secrets. So, I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the disc for details of the case.
You little... Ah!
Order, order, order! On the day of the incident, when we met you at Windybanks, you said this.
I'll be taking that, whatever it is called McGilded's, down to the yard, thank you very much. So hand it over.
No, I don't give it to him. It's mine. That is mine.
I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now.
Scotland Yard already knew at the time, isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of government secrets.
My orders were... recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry. And do it on the QT, strictly hush-hush.
And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information.
Blimey, not likely. I mean, I wasn't that sure of it myself. I realized there was a possibility, that's all. Inspector, surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of these music box discs, to aid and abet this man in giving false testimony,
There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known of the existence of the people. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. Nah! So much screaming.
Objection!
if I stress if, this sobering assertion turns out to be found in truth, it would mean the second disc is, as we speak here in this very courtroom. Wait, what? In this room?
How could you possibly make a claim like that?
Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective. What? What's that supposed to mean, eh?
And as seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly, he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter. No, he would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand.
Good gracious, then, you mean to say Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession? He has the second disc actually on his person?
Yes!
Wow, yes, just yes. The defense demands the inspector is searched at once.
Definitely! They could only have struck a deal with each other when Ginny was testifying before. And Grexy hasn't moved from the witness stand since.
My lord, please, order an examination of his personal effects immediately.
Well, Inspector,
He's just eating.
this young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me and my profession quite enough. However, if it'll put this matter to bed and dispel any doubt about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search.
What? He's going to agree to it. I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter, my learned student friend. You've made most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here. If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end. And my country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded.
That sounds serious. Indeed, to have a visiting student make such a defamatory remarks about our country's most senior police force is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook.
You're just threatening Uno because you're scared.
The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences. Dun, dun, dun. Dun. It's true. I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here.
Very well, counsel, you know the implications, so let me ask you one final time.
Yes, my lord.
Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects? What to do, what to do.